Annie Bujo, everyone. My name is Jen. Welcome to Butterfly Spirit Drumming. I'm here with my sister Josephine, and welcome to another gathering where we sing and we chat and share medicine and share energy with each other. So whether you're tuning in live on a Thursday night in March or whether it's a bit later, welcome and thanks for being here. I'm going to start with the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address that comes from this book called Braiding Sweetgrass. It's the young person's edition, originally by Robin Wall Kimmerer, but this was adapted by a Canadian author named Monique Gray Smith. And I highly recommend both versions, but I really like the youth version. Let us bring our minds together as one as we send greetings and thanks to each other as people. In these gathered faces, we see that the cycle of life continues. Let us bring our minds together as one as we send greetings and thanks to our Mother the Earth, for she gives us everything that we need for life. Let us bring our minds together as one as we send greetings and thanks to the waters of the world that nurture life for all beings and all the fish life in the water. Let us bring our minds together as one as we send greetings and thanks to the vast fields of plant life, the berries, the trees, and the medicine herbs of the world. Let us bring our minds together as one as we send greetings and thanks to the edible plants we harvest from the garden, especially the Three Sisters. Let us bring our minds together as one as we send greetings and thanks to the beautiful animal life of the world and all the birds who move and fly about over our heads. Let us bring our minds together as one as we send greetings and thanks to the powers we know as the four winds, who purify the air we breathe and help to bring change of seasons. Let us bring our minds together as one as we send greetings and thanks to our grandfathers, the thunder beings, who live in the west with their lightning and thundering voices. Let us bring our minds together as one as we send greetings and thanks to our eldest brother, the sun, our oldest grandmother, the moon, and the stars who spread across the sky like jewelry. Let us bring our minds together as one as we send greetings and thanks to the enlightened teachers who have come to help us throughout the ages. We now turn our thoughts to the Creator or Great Spirit and send greetings and thanks for all the gifts of creation. And now our minds are one. And I just wanted to quickly introduce myself. My name is Jen. Live here on Treaty 19 territory, the Treaty of the Mississaugas Credit First Nation. And my family comes from Scotland, France, and here on Turtle Island, Matagami First Nation in Treaty 9 territory. And my spirit name is Nimkikwe, which means Thunder Woman. And before I pass it over to Josephine, I just wanted to mention a miigwech to Grandmother's Voice, who helps us create this space for sharing. So go ahead, Josephine.
Thank you so much, Jen. Welcome, everybody, to an episode of the Josie and Jen Show. And our lovely elders and Jody with Grandmother's Voice, thank you so much for joining us. We're very happy to be here to share our gifts, our experience, our knowledge. I feel like I just want to sing the water song right now. I'm outside and it's a lot colder and the wind just picked up, but you know, it's the change of seasons. So I'm kind of like a Superman. All right, so I'm going to sing. So I'm from Six Nations, Onondaga. I think, Jen, which episode is this? I think maybe 12. Jen is always good at everything, keeping track, keeping us in line.
Number 12. This is number 12. You're correct.
Okay. And then I was like, is it 13? Okay, so part of our teachings that I like to share once in a while is our gratitude for water. And the reason why we do this and we honor the spirit of the water is because when we drink that, we want to put those good intentions into us So I have a bottle of water, and when we look at the water and we acknowledge the spirit of the water and we say thank you, I love you, we respect you, and like not just go through the motions, but actually feel it, and then we drink it, right? Rather than just like taking a quick sip and going about our business, just to take a moment and reflect and honor the water, because we're like, I don't know, 72 or 80% water. So when we think of the water and when we sing the water songs, you don't actually have to be at the river or at the lake. You can just connect with the water in your mind at any time. And just, if you want to close your eyes, it's very energetic today. I noticed it's very with the long weekend. A lot of people are rushing and they're forgetting how to cooperate with each other. I noticed as I was driving home from work. So just kind of bring everybody into the moment of balance and harmony. And even myself, like I just got here a little while ago, and there's only so much time in the day. So I would like to sing the water song, the Wichita one. I'm right under a white pine tree, and I have white pine tea that I brought to work, so I get to enjoy some of that in a little bit and warm up. Life is good. And I can look right at the sun, which is really good, but not for too long, because I got to drive after. So we have a topic, and I've been sitting on this one for about a month. It is toxic masculinity and the misconceptions. It sounds like a band. Okay, so did you want me to go first with it, Jen? I just basically wanted to talk about like the healthy alpha male versus the unhealthy toxic male. Just anything of experience or anything you've read or anything that you've learned over the years, or I can go first. Doesn't matter.
Why don't you go first?
Sure. Okay. So I'm going to try my best not to use any swear words, and I'll just kind of hint at some of the things that I've seen, like growing up. So when I see, okay, let's just talk about like if somebody labels somebody as a toxic male, what would that look like? I would think it would be somebody who stands in their truth, that may have a very strong, energetic personality. So let's say there's this guy and he's like wants to say something about something, but he's very passionate about it. Very maybe some kind of truth or something, and he's like, I have something to say that might be a trigger for somebody with his deep voice, with his broad shoulders, with maybe a little bit of passion, like his energy, right? But he doesn't mean it as something that's like scary or alarming. He just means it as he has something to say because he's been suppressed maybe his whole life, or maybe some kind of abuse or trauma. So when you think of the suppression of the male, the boy, some of those things are: don't act like a girl, don't act like a female body part, don't cry like a girl, or man up is one that I heard. And that's blocking their emotions. And when that happens, they bottle it up and they bottle it up. And then what happens is when it's time for them to express themselves, then it comes out in a toxic way because they've been, suppressed so much before. And then when you have somebody that has worked through a lot of traumas and triggers and wounds, they appear toxic, but they're not. So then when you look at the damaged female that's been traumatized and has had different abuses that happen to her, any healthy alpha male that tries to speak his truth is going to appear as a toxic male. So that's kind of like the gist of it. I have many brothers, and I've seen a lot of that where they just were told by my stepfather to, not act like a girl and stuff like that. So that's about all I want to share right now about the toxic male. And at any minute, there could be anybody walking by that I could just like invite in a conversation about that, because it's like we need to talk about these things. It's like
we really got to talk about these things.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello there.
How are you? How are you?
I am doing quite well, thank you.
It's so nice to see you.
Yes, very nice to see you. I'm glad we ran into each other so spontaneously.
Yeah, like this is just so random.
And I like how you were talking about toxic masculinity, actually, because I do have a few points to add, if that's okay. Unless, Jen, would you like to say something beforehand?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
She's smiling.
Thanks, Jen. I appreciate it. And also, thanks for having me here on Grandmother's Voice. I appreciate it. My name is Matt, for anybody. So,
wait, it's so nice to see you.
Oh, yeah, I'll actually give you a hug. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very kind.
How have you been?
I've been great, I've been surviving and making it, and, like you were saying, emotions are really running high.
Oh, you seem kind of loud, like a toxic male.
Oh, really? Oh, well, I apologize. Sometimes what happens...
You don't have to apologize. It's my own trigger that I need to work on.
Well, sometimes what happens with men who have deep voices and broad shoulders, sometimes they trigger people unintentionally when they're just trying to deliver their truth.
Oh, that makes sense.
So, anyway, some of the points here, actually, you sort of went over some of them I wanted to say, but the 3 points I wanted to go over were described in an article, which I'll leave in the comments after this episode. But toughness, anti-femininity, if I pronounce that right, and power. So toughness is basically how the notion that a man should be physically strong and extremely callous and behaviorally aggressive, and it's like that sort of macho attitude doesn't really fly. There's nothing really to prove to anybody,
Yeah.
So
I just want to interject because I know he won't mind.
Sure.
If you notice something, he has a deep voice and he's very passionate right now, and it might be a trigger for somebody. Do you see what I'm saying? And all he's doing is expressing himself.
Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to share that because somebody might just tune in and say, "Whoa, is he ever fired up?" Yeah, he is, but in a good way.
Oh, for sure. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
So the anti-femininity, I again apologize if I didn't pronounce that right, but it's basically the notion that men should reject anything that's considered feminine, like how, like actually showing emotion or accepting help. But there's nothing wrong with crying and expressing yourself, right? But oftentimes as a man, we're taught to suppress these things, or as you said, to quote unquote man up,
Yeah,
right? And things like this, which unfortunately I think actually lead to more toxic behaviors in general, because nobody should have to live like they have to prove something to anybody.
exactly.
And this brings me to the last point, which is described as power in the article that I read. It says it's the assumption that men must work hard toward obtaining power and status on a social and financial level so they can gain the respect of others. But what you do for a living or your social circle and things like this don't really have to define you at all, whatsoever, right? It's just so, too many people I think are living like they have to prove something to somebody when the reality is like, um, we just have to express ourselves to the fullest and not worry about what anybody else thinks. And unfortunately, everybody, or not everybody, but some people will, like you said, react to somebody who has a deep voice or has broad shoulders or might have their own traumas in life, that sort of a thing. But everybody has, a little bit of work to do, I guess. And so ultimately, we can't get anywhere if we suppress ourselves. So that's the end of my words of
Oh,
wisdom, my Confucian wisdom.
well, temporarily, because we can have a conversation back and forth of some of the things that happens when somebody blocks their emotions, and then also maybe some solutions on how to communicate in a better way so it doesn't appear toxic.
Sure.
Thank you so much. That was very good.
Oh yeah, well, thanks for having me, and also thanks for having me here, Jen. I appreciate it. You're a lovely lady.
Surprise! Yes, she's a lovely lady. All
Aw,
right.
well, thanks for
How
joining
about
us.
you? If you want to share anything about that, and then maybe drum and sing.
Yeah, sure. I think that, like you said, a lot of toxic masculinity comes from socialization. And so hopefully, as we are realizing this as a society and unlearning some of these deeply held, rooted in colonization, patriarchy, whatever you want to call those systems of belief, maybe things can start to shift for the balance of masculine. Sometimes I think it's a bit of a balance of masculine and feminine energy. And I think that, when we talk about, it's really funny that this is our topic because of this eclipse energy we're in. So it's actually not really funny. It's divine timing. But
Yeah.
this eclipse energy, what I've read about it, and I'm sure lots of people are learning a lot of things and getting teachings, but on April 8th, when the moon, that feminine energy overcomes the brightness of the male energy, really marks the time when we're moving from Pisces into the feminine divine, right? When grandmother moon, she embodies the feminine energy, and there's lots of energy for everyone, right? And it's not like grandmother moon's taking all of grandfather sun's energy. They work in collaboration and they reflect off of each other. And so I think sometimes toxic masculinity to me seems like it comes from competition.
Yeah.
And like if too many women, but feminine energy isn't just about women, it's about the way we think, right? Feminine energy is about tuning back into nature and following what Mother Earth wants us to do. And like our innate nature, which is why people are fighting against it so much, because the way our society is, it goes against all of that. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is in the Piscean age that we're coming out of. I've heard it said that it was all about believing and kind of trusting in guidance from without our, like outside of ourselves. And now we're coming into this Aquarius time when it's the time of knowing, right? And to access the wisdom that we have in our bodies. And I think men and toxic masculinity, a lot of it comes from disconnection with their emotions and what is happening in their body. Same with women.
Yeah.
Right? We're so disconnected because we're on this fitness diet, busyness, right? Our makeup, our whatever, and we forget about our sacredness that we hold inside, and that there's a lot more simplicity to how to take care of ourselves, I think, and how to bring our feminine energy out than we think, but we get bogged down with all of these, I don't know, expectations. So I like to think, I think it's an interesting time where we're in this, hopefully starting to shift the balance of feminine energy in all people, right, on earth. I would love to see that. And so in my day-to-day practice, like right now, my journal, the one journal I'm working on that's the most kind of focus in my practice is about the divine feminine. And so I've been collecting all of these images and quotes, and I found a book at my church sale, speaking of churches, and it was called A Woman's Book of Power. And it's very, very dated. And my plan was to rip it up. And I've been looking at, I love to thrift. I've never, ever in my whole life ever found dance books and books about from the 70s and 80s about women's dance. So it reminds me of my childhood, right? Like the images that we looked at when we were little girls in magazines and in books is what I found like last November. And this book has so much. So anyways, it was making me think of, I kind of got it to rip apart because it was at the end of the sale and it was going to kind of be tossed anyways. But this book is so fascinating, and she talks about the journey into our sacred power, and it was all through the body and through dance, right? And she talked about we're beginning to care less about the hardness of our buttocks and more about the richness of our hearts. And she wrote about that in the 80s. She was ahead of her time. And she said, we're dancing, hiking, playing sports for different reasons, not as penance, but as nourishment. And I think that when we think of our bodies to be nourished, that feminine energy is so important. Okay, so I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to sing a song now. Because I could just go on.
No, that was very good.
The words are good, though.
Oh, thanks. I was thinking about singing the Grandmother Moon song, since we're ushering in that energy and we're just coming off of our full moon. So I'm going to sing that one to start with tonight. And this is a song that I learned from a group of women that I gather with a few times a year from Nipissing First Nation. Here we go. Grandmother Moon, keep on shining. Shine your light on me. Shine in the east. Shine in the west. Shine your light on me. Moonlight, starlight, dancing on the water. Moonlight, starlight, dancing through the trees. Grandmother Moon, keep on shining. Shine your light on me. Shine in the east. Shine in the west. Shine your light keep on shining. Shine your light on me. Shine in the east, shine in the west. Shine your light on me. Moonlight, starlight, dancing on the water. Moonlight, starlight, dancing through the trees. Grandmother Moon, keep on shining. Shine your light on me. Shine in the east, shine in the west. Shine your light on me. Moonlight, starlight, dancing on the water. Moonlight, starlight, shine your light on me. Shine your light on me. Shine your light on me. Okay, Josephine, you're really in the great outdoors now.
Yes, we have a special treat.
Awesome.
Oh, wait, you need to run.
I wonder where we're heading here.
We have one life, and when you feel the energy move through you, trust that you're in the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Trust that you're guided.
Mm-hmm.
Trust your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Trust your inner voice. Believe in yourself. All the knowledge is within. First nice day,
Yes.
and we're out. And in just a few moments, you're going to catch this beautiful, beautiful sunset. We just caught it.
And I also
Literally-
think, oh, go on.
Literally just caught it.
Awesome.
It literally just went down. We just caught it. What did you want to say, Jen?
I was just going to say, I like to think about that quote. The person that you've been waiting for has always been there. It's been you all along. You are that person.
You are, yes.
Right? We are the people we've been waiting for is us.
Are you okay standing close to the edge? Living on the edge. We're literally on the edge of the escarpment. We won't fall. And we're going to sing the wolf song.
Okay.
And I encouraged Matt to sing it because, like, when he sings really loud sometimes. And that could also be offensive to some women because it almost sounds like rage, but it's not rage. It's just expression. Just like when we sing our songs soft and gentle with that heart energy, it's the same thing. I think you gotta go. Yeah, right there. When we sing, it's whatever comes out. And that's why the drum is so healing, is because it brings up emotion and it connects us, and it's just beautiful. So we're gonna sing this, and then I'll say a couple words, and it's a little bit cold, so we'll probably wrap it up soon. But in the meantime, we're just a couple of wolves in the forest. Oh! love being spontaneous.
Yes.
So that's the Wolf song, and I just learned that a couple months ago. And I think that when we can express ourselves in a good way, that it's beautiful, right?
Agreed. Yeah.
Jen, would you like to sing a song?
Yes. I'll sing a song to close us off, maybe.
Yeah, and then
Right.
I'll have a couple closing words, and Matt will, and then
Sure.
that would be beautiful.
That's
In the
great.
meantime, while you sing with your beautiful voice, we'll give you a view of the forest.
There you go. Okay. I thought I would finish this off as we are moving into this, always into a time of more divine feminine energy, to sing the Strong Woman song. And this is a well-known song, originated with women in the Kingston Penitentiary, and it's about women finding strength within. It was written by Maggie Paul. And also when we sing this song, we're thinking about murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls and Two-Spirit people, and holding them all in our thoughts.
Thank you. That was very nice.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay, so Matt was just going to share a couple words, a couple sentences, and then I will share a couple, and then since Jen opened it, maybe she could just close it with whatever she feels. So go ahead.
All right, floor is mine. Thanks, everybody. I just want to say that sometimes people might feel like they may be submerged in darkness with all that's going on, but there's also such a thing as being blinded by light. And either way, whether you're submerged in darkness or blinded by light, one way or another, that represents blindness. And so sometimes we have to find, I don't know the right words for it, but I guess the middle path, and not to be afraid to stand in your truth, even if sometimes the truth is not always the popular thing. So I'm now just going to close with that the most powerful form of love is self-love, because you can't love anyone or help anyone unless you love and help yourself first. Thank you. Gee, miigwech.
Thank you so much. And I would just like to thank Lemat Unseated for sharing your toxic masculinity words of wisdom. Gotcha. He's like, what? I'm not toxic. No, he's totally not. And I really appreciate the platform to be able to drum and sing. Thank you, Jody, and everybody with Grandmother's Voice for just allowing myself to express, because like what you were saying earlier, Jen, about the toxic female, it's true, and that's also what you said about balance, right? So when we have balance and harmony of the feminine and masculine, then we can be in balance and harmony with each other, with all living things. So nature has brought us back into balance and harmony, and singing and howling like wolves helped me nurture the masculine part, helped him express, and then we don't express it in those toxic ways for either, masculine or feminine. So also, I agree with the self-love, and more self-love that we have, then in turn we'll be able to give that to the world. So thank you so much, Jen and Matt, and all of you wonderful people that have joined us. And until another 2 weeks, take good care of yourselves.
And thank you to Grandmother's Voice. Thank you, Jen, and thank you, Jody, and Grandmother Renee.
Yes. And just to wrap us up, remembering that, that Dewagan, the drum is a vibration, and we're all vibrations. And the drum represents the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And when we think about what our own heart represents, it's that fire within us. It's that light. And we are the light. You're right, Matt. We are the light, and we have to keep shining and reflecting each other's light and help people see their own light, right? And so I thank you both for joining us. And again, thank you, Grandmother's Voice. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We hope to see you in 2 weeks. And happy eclipse. We'll see you on the flip side. Bye,
Miigwech.